I don't know if we.
Do my pecs look good?
I know.
I've been working out in the gym.
You're like cut up, girl. Like, going
So-
back to your name, your artist name.
Yeah,
BB
I
Soul.
just changed it. My mom calls me BB. She's like, BB! And then soul, I love soul music. Like S-O-L sounds like soul, but it means sun in
Sun.
Spanish. So BB Soul was perfect for me.
New chapter,
A new chapter.
name, new everything.
Knew everything.
And you've been singing how long now?
I've been singing 20 years.
Oh shit.
I don't look that old, do I?
No, not at all. I mean, your body says.
Thank you, I've been-
You're on up to date and cut up.
This is
and
like, if
everything.
you feel a little pudgy, this is like the shirt to wear to
Just
make
to
you
make
feel
it all
better.
go away.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? This is gonna cover it all up. I could eat a cheeseburger and be like totally fine with this on. So that's this morning I felt like that and I was like, I'm gonna look good on camera.
Was this right? Perfect.
Yeah, good.
So you've been singing 20 years.
Yep.
I'm assuming you bounced around different parts, areas. We were talking about New York.
Yeah.
A little stint over there.
Yeah, I was over there for a minute. You know what? Their pizza, not that good. I know, I can't
Oh,
believe
we
I
might
just
have
said
to
that.
edit that one out.
I know.
I
but I'm from
disagree.
Rhode Island, where the real Italians
The Italians.
went to Rhode Island, and that's like the mecca of Italian food. #1 Italian food spot in the country. Every year it wins. I started singing when I was like 12 in the church. I was in the drum line in college.
Sick.
And then I would sing in the jazz band in college too. So I got to do both, which was really fun. You know, I work with a lot of kids, teach them about, social issues without it being boring. They'd make these whole productions. It was so cute. It was just really fun. And then I moved to New York in 2020. Everybody was leaving. I was driving into the city. And
Let me go to the hot spot. Let me go to Super Spreader.
exactly. It was like, there was like little tumbleweed just going across Broadway. And I was like, this is fun, I think. Year by year, it would trickle in with people. So I got to acclimate to New York. Like working nonstop in this studio, writing. And it was so fun. It was just a lot, very high pressure, I feel. But they say have fun, but also don't mess up because this is gonna be on TV in an hour.
Yeah.
I got to really hone in on my songwriting skills there in New York. And then I didn't really perform though, so.
The background, you're working behind the scenes.
I was working behind the scenes,
Yeah,
yes.
making you a more well-rounded artist.
Exactly.
Songwriting to me is so huge. I always wanted to be a songwriter.
What?
I don't know how to write songs for shit. I've done poetry.
Let's
for a
stop
long
everything
time.
right now. Let's just go write a song. Continue though.
No, and I always, admired it.
Yeah.
For an artist to be a singer and then songwriter, and you couple that together, you got the ultimate.
Yeah.
But that's so dope.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice
Uh-oh.
for songwriting.
Free sauce.
Are you ready? Your brain thinking you can't wait to songwrite or making it into this one day I'm gonna songwrite.
That'll
That's
just
your
never
block.
happen. Yeah.
So the moment you can just not take it so seriously and literally just write your thoughts on a page and put a random humming melody to it because you feel like it. Usually my best work comes when I'm pooping in the
Same.
toilet. Yo,
Or shower.
pooping can be
Yeah.
holy poops.
Yeah.
It's just when you're not taking yourself so seriously. Or you wonder why in the shower you sound so much better when you're singing in the shower. It's because you're vulnerable. And you're
Yes.
not thinking anybody's listening.
Yes.
Or you're not listening to yourself even. The fact that you want to songwrite needs to that mindset needs to stop.
We just need to
Yeah.
just make it happen.
And just randomly do it on a piece of paper and just make it just it's doodling.
Do you write listening to the beat or melody first, or do you write and then find the beat that goes along with it?
To a kid, would you draw something with crayons if you had an empty page, or would you color in if you had it already drawn out and you just like to color in? If I'm an artist, if I'm a kid, I want to do anything. So if I have a blank page, I'll draw. But if I have something to color in, I'll start coloring and have fun with that too. So
Right, wrong way. Yeah.
exactly. My emotions come out in melody. My first song I ever wrote was because this boy, everybody was like, he's gonna give you a gift on Valentine's Day.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get a gift on Valentine's Day. And he literally gives it to somebody else. And that night, I was so crushed. I didn't even know I wrote songs. I'm a 6th grader.
Yeah.
I had no idea what even writing was about, but I was like, it was Valentine's Day. And I waited and I waited. I waited for the gift, but the gift never came to me. He gave it to another she. And I waited, but the gift never came, and for me was a big shame. It's terrible. And the gift never came to me. And that was my Valentine's Day.
Oh, where is this kid? We're gonna find him. He fucked up.
His name's Greg Brown. Shout out to Greg Brown. I sang it in 7th grade, and they threw stuff at me at the dance.
No.
And I was like, "Is this real life?"
Oh,
Not the greatest.
I thought they were gonna throw things at Greg.
I know, right? No, they worshipped Greg. He was a hockey player, super cute. Literally, just that came out of me because I was so sad. And then the next time, it was another guy that unrequited love, right? And then I just like went on the piano, didn't know how to play, and just started writing.
Yeah.
So that was a really long story. But basically, it's like, just whatever you're feeling,
Go with the
just
feel.
go with it. You wouldn't, especially doodling, like, you know, like you wouldn't ask someone to sit down in this really fancy, like, okay, so how do you doodle? Like, tell me the process of your doodling. You wouldn't be like that because like doodling is for fun. The passion of doodling and not knowing what you're gonna do.
And it's your doodle. It's whatever you want. There's no rules.
There's no rules.
Okay.
That's like songwriting.
I'm gonna write a rhyme. No, I'm gonna write a song and I'm gonna send it to you.
I love it.
So you went to church. You started off right. Who decided to bring you in to sing? Was that something like you said, hey, I wanted to sing in front of everybody?
I actually didn't originally. I was like so nervous to sing because I was a drummer. And just like I was very shy because I got bullied and like had a really interesting teacher that I went to a private school and I got abused there. Physically abused by the teacher. So like I already had this like timid, shy, I'm afraid vibe. So then when I went to go sing, I would like sing in the closet. And like I didn't want my parents to hear me. I was so nervous. When I was 12, I went to, I don't know if you know Natalie Grant. She's a Christian artist. She was singing at this conference and she was talking about her story of being bulimic and how God got her out of her mess. And she sang this song called The Real Me. And I was 12 and I was like, that changed my life. If she can do that in one night with me, I can do that one day.
Wow.
And so I was like, Mom, I want to sing. And I want to have a story, and then I want to sing about it, and then I want to tour the world and share it. And she's like, okay. So I started doing voice lessons, but like I wasn't afraid anymore because I had a purpose.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's crazy how you can be so fearful of doing something, but if you have a purpose for like helping others, it completely stops the fear. I wouldn't say completely, but you know, a lot. My drum teacher told me to like stick with drums. He was like, stick with drums, kid. You don't sound that good. And I was like, no. So I got voice lessons. And yeah, that's when it started. I ended up actually working with Natalie Grant. I ended up producing and doing background vocals on a record of hers. And now we kind of like talk a little bit on Instagram. Hey, Nat. But yeah, she's like amazing.
How you started?
Yeah.
Ah, that's crazy.
I know, it's so nice.
So where are you now? What is BB Soul? What's the music? What's the vibe feel like?
I'm never gonna be in a certain genre box, but it's definitely gonna stay very soulful, instilling hope in people to not give up. Because I think, you know, for me, I went through that abuse as a kid. I went through a lot of bullying from like 2nd grade to college.
Damn.
I was getting bullied in college.
College too.
Yes. I got kicked off the drum line because someone framed me and set my drum on fire. And I got kicked off.
Literally?
Literally kicked off. Yeah.
Drum on fire?
Drum on fire. I thought I should write a song about that. This drum is on fire, fire, fire. No, it was crazy. I feel like I went through all of these things to like understand and feel loneliness, how it feels to be invisible, and like all of these things that I feel are fueling the reason why I want to give hope and encouragement. It's not just coming from this empty like, don't give up. Felt like giving up on life a few times.
So talk about this, right? You started off, you made your breakthrough, you decided that you wanted to become a singer, but yet you've been bullied through, but there's highs and lows, right? So for people that are watching, thinking this is really inspirational, coming from where you came from and the hardships, how do you get out of like certain funks? Things can't always be good. People go off track every now and then. How do you find your way back around again?
I love that. That's a really great question. So I'm just learning that now, that there's a shortcut. My boyfriend, Brett, he's now sober. He was like, do you want to come to a meeting? And I was like, I can do that? You know, he's like, well, you decided to stop drinking. And I was like, okay. So I went to this meeting, Bianca alcoholic. I don't know.
Let me get down with y'all.
They were like, Bianca, and I was like, oh shoot. Because I knew that there was no judgment there. I knew that they knew that like we are all here to get better and to grow, and everybody's very honest at AA meetings, or that's what I saw. So I just let out things that were on my mind that I felt like I'd be embarrassed to say. And I felt so relieved that I didn't realize that a lot of my anxiety and a lot of the depression thoughts are simply because I'm bottling them and I'm keeping them in, and I'm not truthfully, honestly saying it out loud and to a group of people that I know won't judge me. Because like, you know, growing up in the church, they're like, hallelujah, praise the Lord.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of judgment in the church.
Sure.
So it makes me hesitant to even want to talk to those people, because they'll be like, oh, well, you do know that the Lord. It's like, wait, hold on. Can we just have an honest, like, I'm a human.
Yeah.
Have you read the Bible lately? It's everybody messing up, mess up, you know, like, that's okay.
Yeah.
So that space, that AA meeting was like mind blown moment for me. Well, I need to be more honest. Like, I'm not being truly honest with myself, and to share it with other people. You can gussy it up and be like, yeah, I'm going through, you know, a tough time and this and that, but to really say how you feel, I think it's rare to have friends that can hold that space.
I think so. I think you brought up a great point, is where if, say if you didn't have any friends or a best friend or people that would actually listen, that was a resource that you utilized, where I would have never thought that. And that is so true, because when you go in there, I'm assuming that, there really is no judgment at that point. So it lowers your barrier, your wall down, then you can just like spill it all out.
Yep. I want to go to more. Like, I actually went to another one after that because I was like, I got to get this off my chest.
Randomly crashing AA meeting.
And like Brett was like, he didn't even speak yet. They were like, does anybody want to speak? And I was like, me? Alcoholic. They're like, Bianca. I'm like, so I haven't been honest lately, and it like felt so good to get off my chest. And everybody comes up to you and they're like, man, that was so great. And you feel like they don't care. They're just connecting. And I'm like, this is how life should be. I don't know, like I watch so many reels that telling me like what to do, and like you think you know everything because you're watching it, and you're like, oh yes, I got that, yes, I understand that, oh yes, la la, and then it's like you're still not 100% at peace, and you wonder why.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we have to act. We have to like actually do it. And I feel like I'm just starting to learn how to truly be honest with myself and how to like share it with other people. And that's a huge part of songwriting, is being honest. And that's a huge part of being a kid and being a child, is also like they're completely honest. I've had children just be like, you look really ugly today. And you're right. I had a harsh day. They're like, yeah, but you're beautiful inside. And I'm like, thanks. And it's like, I'd rather have that than like, I don't know. I just feel like there's something magical about kids. And
brutal honesty.
Yeah, brutal honesty.
Yeah. I say.
Yeah.
People's butts get hurt too often.
Our butts get, speaking of butts, my butt has never been so close to a Louis. I'm so excited.
Hey, Louis.
Got a tree well. Hey, Louis.
So the music that you write to, how do you write the songs? Is it based on the experiences, what you see out in the world?
Something would download and I'd become like another person. So like I'd hear a record or a piano being played, and I'll never forget, in 2020 I was working with this producer, Coyle, and a piano started playing. I immediately became this 37-year-old Mexican woman who had 3 kids, and her husband just cheated on her. And I was so distraught. All of the feelings of the marriage and the deceit and like all of this stuff came in, downloaded to
You're
like talk
an
about it.
undercover actress songwriter.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I want a badge. Undercover actress. Those songs I'll listen to now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was talking about me. Like there's a song, can somebody else feel for me? because
Okay.
I don't want to feel. And I thought it was about this little scrawny little kid that was like 17. I still can see him now, and I felt all this like loneliness from him. And can you feel it for me? Oh, 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 can you feel it for me? Oh, is there anybody out there? Oh, oh, but deep down I know there's nobody but me. And I was like, years later, I was like, oh, that was me talking to myself. Dang it. Oh.
But it sounds so good. This pain sounds so good.
It's crazy. So after this like AA meeting experience, like going there, I feel like now my writing is going to be a lot more honest and not coming from other people's, but mine.
Okay.
You know, I just wrote a song called Milk, and it's me talking to my 6-year-old self about the abuse I went through and telling her that it's okay to make mistakes now, because every time I made a mistake, she would hit me, drag me across the floor. You know, it was like, do not make a mistake. So to this day, I'm still like dealing with that perfectionistic, don't make a mistake, Bianca.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I wrote a song called Milk, saying, go spill the milk, see where it lands. Maybe it's better than keeping tight hands. Go pick it up, then do it again. Maybe it all was a part of his plan.
You got to go back to certain songs that you wrote to kind of get you out of things.
Probably. I don't know, you want to do it together?
How big is your library? I feel like it's fucking massive, yo.
I have so many songs.
You're like, let me go through all my shit.
I know.
There's one for you here.
Yeah. Which library do you want? Yeah. It's a lot. But it's a good thing. I think that those were also like stepping stone songs. Maybe they won't come out, maybe they will, but they at least like got me to where I am now, you know? And they're just all doodles. And I love that. It like, for me, saying that it's a doodle takes off all the pressure. Because you're not feeling this pressure of, it's this song, this is the song that's gonna make me, or whatever. It's just like, ooh, I doodled, and I'm still doodling. And it's fun. So,
Damn.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. Wow.
Thanks.
This is nuts to hear all the stuff that you have.
I'm letting myself right now write and see what comes out. And if old songs fit the new, then I'll put them together. I feel like I'm musically constipated. You know what I mean? Like I need to take a diuretic and just let it all come out. Sometimes we need to go to CVS and just get some diarrhea medication, take it, and then move on.
So, Off Market 6, we have you coming down.
Yeah.
How does one figure out what songs to sing?
I know. That's a great question.
ooh.
You know Russ, the artist Russ? Mm-hmm. So Russ is like a huge inspiration to me because he's all different types of music. And it's like, it's Russ. It doesn't matter what kind of track he's on. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I'm going to give a smorgasbord, like a charcuterie board. Yeah. So like we're going to have some like, you know, really expensive cheeses. We're going to have some grapes. We're going to do some, I don't know, some weird cheese from Trader Joe's with blueberries or whatever. Have an experience.
Yeah.
And then if I can learn how to dance before March 14th, that would be great. Do a little like hip hop.
Oh, say what?
Get a little like, I don't know.
Do I need to get like a long like runway stage?
Don't even tell me that because that was
Some fog into it too.
some confetti.
Favorite songs? Give me a top 5 favorite songs.
Favorite songs? Oh, Confetti by Tori Kelly.
Okay.
Valerie by Amy Winehouse. But the guitar version, like the bouncy one.
Okay.
Any song by Annie Mineo. Very specific. And Industry by John McLaughlin.
Sick.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
What about you?
Me? Oh, this is going to take a little bit longer.
When you're sad and you want to feel better. Or you,
When I'm sad and I want to feel better. No, it's usually the opposite for me. When I'm sad, I want to feel sadder.
Oh, that's true.
Go down the hole,
That's
just
true.
go down the fucking hole, and then I rise like a...
Dig it like a phoenix from the ashes. Yes.
So
Then you have your
bad.
Phoenix Redemption music.
You know, when it comes down to that, it depends on, like, the feeling. Is it a relationship down? Is it a business down, right? Because then if it's, like, for business here and, like, oh, I'm thinking... I need to bounce back.
Right.
I need to have like a rap song. Or,
Bounce Back by Big Sean.
but you know what? That's there too.
I
Because
love
it
that.
makes me think about like, yeah, you know, fuck all the other shit.
Yeah.
I like that. That's up there.
Yeah.
Any song from DMX would always get me
Yeah.
going. I have my classics. I have my Biggies and my Nas's and stuff. You know, I'm a '90s street kid, and so I always gravitate towards that. And for new music for me, it's kind of hard to get around because I know all my stuff. For sad relationship stuff, it's Mary J.
Mary J.
Yeah.
Is that even that sad though?
I
feel like
the
she's
My Life
so-
album is like it's always about like not clinging on, but depending on your loved one, not to don't leave, you know,
I
stay
see.
with me,
Yeah.
you know, we're having a great time, and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
I've always looked into that.
Ooh, you like
Yeah.
the soul too. Oh, okay, so you like rap music
Yeah.
or like hip hop. Okay. But I was in a music video with Waka Flocka.
Oh no shit!
I wrote the hook.
Get the fuck out of here!
And I thought it was a joke. I was like, this is a joke. I was in college and my friend's like, yo, I'm working with Waka. You want to write a record? And I was like, this isn't real.
What?
I was like, I'm on my way to math. I was like, I gotta go. And then he sends me like a tweet of Waka like shouting him out. And he's like, nah, I'm serious. And I was like, oh, crap. So then I went from math to Spanish. And I'm in Spanish 101.
Yeah.
And he was like, you need to write it about Havana and make it hot. So the teacher's going, en la mañana. And I was like, that rhymes with Havana. So
Yeah.
I wrote the song, fly me on a plane to Havana, drink champagne and watch the sunrise, en la mañana.
Oh my god!
And I was like, oh, I gotta go record it. So I recorded it at a studio. My friend's like dad, shout out Emerson, he's great. And they were like, Chris Brown's gonna try it out and we'll let you know who gets it. And
oh damn!
me and Chris Brown.
Yeah.
I wonder who's gonna get it. So I was like, that's not gonna happen. Months later, they went through French Montana, tried it out. Sean Kingston tried it out, and then Tyga got on it. So then Waka hopped on it instead, and then he did a rap. And I just get a phone call in Marshall's. Hi, this is Waka Flocka's management. Would you like a Rolls Royce or a limo for the music video?
Get the fuck out!
I was holding on to like a $7 t-shirt. And I was like, ah! So I like run out of Marshall's and I was like, I think a Lamborghini actually would be really great. And they were like, great, we'll do a Rolls Royce and a Lamborghini. I was like, that sounds great. See you next week. And I was like, "Wow." I was like, what just happened? Was that a prank phone call? I didn't even have cool enough clothes. I had to use my mom's vintage clothes to like look cool for the video. We finished the whole thing and it came out and it was like wild.
Oh, I'm definitely watching that.
I don't know where it is. I think I have it posted and then like Peter Jackson still has it posted. It's on Spotify and stuff.
Can we just go to YouTube and
Yeah,
just like?
you can go to
oh
YouTube.
yeah, all right.
Yeah.
We're searching
Havana.
Havana by Waka Flocka.
Waka Flocka and Peter Jackson. Oh, have you heard of Ray?
Right.
The artist Ray, 21st Century Blues, insane. She's like Rihanna, Amy Winehouse, and like Ella Fitzgerald into one person.
Oh.
And she raps too, so she's insane. She's like crushing it right now.
Okay. Oh, so new artist or just
She's been doing it for a while.
Okay.
But she's now just becoming like the new. Yeah. And she is just such an inspiration because she'll take her shoes off at performances and drop on the floor, and that's what I like to do. Sometimes if I get into something, I'm gonna sit on the floor. I'll
Sure.
lay on the floor.
Sure.
Let's take off our shoes.
Yeah.
Why are we wearing fancy clothes? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing I don't know why you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? If you wanted to be comfortable, why don't you wear comfortable clothes? So I just want to have that on stage. And she does that. And
Wait, like jingles and stuff?
I work with a company that writes all the music for WWE. We write for Nickelodeon and Disney, and we write for, we did the Super Mario Brothers movie. We do, like movie soundtracks. And so like that's like the world I've been in, which is really helpful for the schizophrenic brain. Not really, but like, you know what I mean? Just like the ADHD, one moment I'm writing for WWE, the next moment I'm writing a kid's song. It's crazy, but you can't take yourself seriously. The moment you're like, okay, I'm writing a song, make sure it's perfect. You've lost. It's all a mindset.
How do you lock in? How do you like switching gears? Adults switching gears, kids like.
That's literally what I say. I have so many videos, so I videotape myself, and I should probably share these. So I have hundreds of videos of me on my desk going, okay, be a kid, Bianca, be a kid. And I get into this kid mindset, which really is just staying present. to be honest. So I act like a kid, and I imagine listening to the music like a kid would. And I'll just start to, like, I don't try to make up words. I'll just be like, and then I'll pause it, I'll listen back, and I will copy exactly the vowel sounds and the melody that I did the first time I heard something. Because I trust that my instinct is going to, the melody is going to be the most organic and the most like connecting with other people. So the company would go into your room, and they'd have me do the melody and do whatever I just did, the kid like blah thing.
Yeah.
And then we would put lyrics to the exactly to how I wrote it.
That's so dope. And you just like have a whole bag full of tricks. You just make all these different things.
It's cool because you don't know what you're made of until someone pushes you into it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna write a rap. I'm gonna push you. You got until 7 p.m. tonight. I mean, the first time I met you, you were up till, you like stayed up all night doing those t-shirts.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy what we really can do when someone just says, hey, can you get this to me by then? And you're like, no problem. But when it comes to our own stuff, we're like pushing it off. But if another person, that's the power of people.
Accountability.
Accountability. Thanks for using that word. So much easier than what I just said. Love it.
The only resolution that I had this year was to ask people for help. Because I don't. Because I know and I think I can do it on my own. I've been around for a while now, and I'm like, yeah, I can trust myself.
Yep.
But I can't do everything.
Everything. No, you can't.
And that's what it is, asking
Yeah.
people for help. It was funny because, you know, when you and Brett came in, shout out to Nick. Nick was like, oh, I was so hyped about his Harley shirt and his first one. And we were all talking about it. And, you know, and then I think I looked for your page. You guys followed and looked for your page. And I was like, oh, this guy has nothing on IG. Whatever. And then I think I magically hit the other button and Threads came up or something came up. I was like, oh my God, there's a shitload of stuff here. Like, what is she doing? Commercials and whatever. And I was just like, I gotta have her down.
Oh, that's so nice.
I gotta reach out to her.
Thank you.
So
That's so.
that was my ask.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
March 14th, that's 6 to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, girl.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.